What's going on, everyone? My name is Ty. Welcome to the official first moto vlog. So long as we don't have any technical issues this time. The first 4 or 5 unofficial first moto vlogs. Either the camera angle wasn't what I wanted, or the audio was not good, or I didn't have the audio on. But I think we've got everything figured out. Let me know if you guys would be stoked on a Motovlog helmet setup. I know that there's 1,000,001 of them out there already, but this is very, very entry level, and I've never seen anybody set their camera and microphone and everything else up the way that I have here. And I've seen a lot of hundreds and hundreds of dollar setups that don't perform as well, in my opinion anyways, as what I have here. So yeah, welcome to my first moto vlog. Hope you enjoy your stay. The weather is nice, the sun's just going down. I'm being a professional squid, as you can see. Now I know I should be in full gear all the time when I'm on this bike, but I do have an excuse. It has been, at least for where I live, extremely, extremely hot and humid the last couple days. And it still is. I mean, the sun's going down and I still think it's about 27 degrees Celsius, which I know a lot of you from the States, like 27 degrees Celsius, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but that's like a normal day for you guys in the middle of the winter time. But for us Southern Ontario gentlemen, we only get about 3 months of nice weather around here, and for it to be this hot in June is very unusual for the area. My delicate Canadian skin can't take this much heat and sun. So anyways, I basically just wanted to take this moto vlog to introduce myself to you guys. Like I said, my name is Ty. I live in Southern Ontario, Canada. I've only been technically riding for a couple of years now, but I've had a bike for about 4 or 5 years. And of course, before I got my motorcycle license, I would never do such a thing as ride it without a license, you know? So yeah, let's say I've got a couple years experience anyways. I started out on a little Ninja 250R, which I still have. You might see some motovlogs in the future on that little guy. And that thing was good to start on, but it just didn't have the get up and go that I was looking for, really. So last season I picked this guy up. It's a 2004 Z1000. I basically bought it because I wanted a leader bike, and it's kind of the cheat code for cheap insurance around here. That thing is sick. Little Willie's Jeep. Sheesh! Now obviously this bike ain't no H2, but it's a practical amount of power for where I ride it. Plus, naked bikes, man, anything over the speed limit, you know, especially on the highway, is just absolutely uncomfortable. The wind is pretty unbearable, and I knew that I was going to want to start making videos like this, so I think it's the perfect medium for my second bike anyways. Something to learn and get my skills up a little bit on something that's a little faster than my 250R was. It's actually, if I'm not mistaken, not that much heavier than my 250R was. I mean, that thing, it's an 03, so carburation, cast iron, this thing, fuel injection, aluminum block, aluminum head. And to be honest, when I went and picked this bike up, all that the guy really had to do to sell it to me was to start it. I mean, it just sounds so good. And that's my favorite part about it anyways. So I guess you guys probably want to know how I got into this whole bike thing. And long story short, I mean, I have a background, I'm a mechanic by trade. So just working on cars and being around cars, anything with wheels, you know. So owned a couple dirt bikes, and those were cool. I never really grew up on bikes, but I grew up around mechanics. And one thing that mechanics are good at is finding random things on Marketplace that have a motor and buying them and then showing them to their friends. So, and to be completely honest, I did not think I was gonna get this into bikes when I bought my first one. It was actually one of my customers who was selling it, gave me a really good deal on it, so I basically couldn't pass up buying that thing. So I had that little Ninja for 3 years before I even got my license. And like I said, I totally never rode it. But that's what got me hooked in anyways. Growing up, it was all cars, exotics, tuners, lots of awesome video games. I'll shut up here. We're gonna get onto the highway here. I'll give you a little bit of some raw sound up to the speed limit, you know, since we're in Mexico and all. I tell you what, I am absolutely addicted. Way more so than I've been addicted to anything in my life. Man, if you guys are thinking about getting into the bike scene, even just thinking about buying a bike, you're like 14 years old, you're like, man, I watch these videos online, I think it's cool. Even to just own a bike to tinker with until you get your license, do it, 100%. Like I said, I didn't have the luxury growing up on bikes, never really had dirt bikes when I was growing up. I was more of the car kid. And I'm glad I made the switch, because god damn. I wouldn't really call it a sunset yet, but god damn, she pretty out here tonight. Basically the last couple nights that I've been able to ride, I've been out here on a t-shirt sweating still. That's how hot it's been. I don't know what the heck that thing was. I'll be completely honest with you guys, I am not the type of person to ask what type of bike that is. Being pretty green in the bike scene and not a huge bike enthusiast at all yet anyways. greatest at identifying bikes just yet. You point at a car, I can tell you what it is. The specs, how much horsepower, you know, kind of engine, blah, 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 blah. You point at a bike, man, I had no clue. Like, I could read the side of a bike if it says R1, S1K, you know. But you give me fucking some no-name bike. Like, if I looked at this bike a year ago, I probably wouldn't know what the hell it was. That kid was peeking. Don't worry guys, we out here in Mexico. What are you doing, Fiesta? As a pretty busy guy and a business owner, which I guess just makes me a pretty busy guy, I haven't really had a chance to get riding as much as I have already this year. Like last year I probably got out less than this year already, and it's only mid-June. But I just like to get out riding a lot more this year, and I'm kind of using this as an excuse to get out riding. If I can document it, I'd love to take you guys with me to car meets or bike meets or whatever. I'm not super deep into the community around here. I mean, there isn't a huge community to begin with, but yeah, with being so busy, I've been so out of the scene. So I would love to get back in, find some communities, maybe go on some group rides. I'm pretty much a solo rider. The better half just got her motorcycle license, so you might see her in the near future or distant future. The way it works around here is you write your learners, I guess you would call it, and you can basically hop on a bike right away. I mean, there's obviously limitations, but if you wanted to, you could write your learners, which is a written test, and then hop on an H2R and take it to the streets, which is pretty wild. And she doesn't even know how to drive a manual car, so the whole bike thing I think is going to wait until she does her course. I might take her out and teach her. Unfortunately, the other bike right now is not insured, so I wasn't expecting her to get her license. And the way that it works here in Ontario is they prorate your insurance, so I'd basically be paying a buttload for insurance until my renewal on that bike if I try to insure it again. What the heck is going on here? Got a little racetrack here, and not a good one. Usually these barriers mean road rough. Hang on. Do a little standing action here. So one thing about this bike is I think I'm a little bit too light for the way that the suspension is set up right now. It's very stiff. All I know is we will 100% be doing one big event this year. I'm not going to say what it is. If you're from this area, you know what it is and what the date is. It happens every year on the same date, and that's all I'll give away. But that will be awesome, and I will hopefully be able to document all of that for you guys. Pretty stoked, to be honest. We're getting a bunch of my buddies together that ride. The one that convinced me to finally get my license after owning a bike for 3 years, he'll be there on his Harley. Brother! Other than that, I think you're just stuck with me, guys. But that's alright. I'm here to bring the high energy shenanigans. Obviously when I'm here just bombing around town, I gotta kind of chill out. But once I get some time to actually go on a nice ride somewhere, get away from the coupe, you can start mobbing a little bit, you know? The majority of the time it's going to be solo dolo, so get used to it. Looks like we're starting to lose some sunlight. So one thing that I didn't test this camera setup on yet, after 4 or 5 failed first Motovlog attempts, is night riding. Now it is a GoPro. I know I said entry level setup, and GoPros are expensive. I got a really good deal on this with the ultra wide whatever mod they came with it. But we'll just have to see how it looks at night. I know there's a lot of cheaper actual entry level sports cameras. I just got lucky and had this. I actually bought this for snowboarding. It's another thing about me. You gotta stay busy in the winter time when you get 9 months of it around here, you know? I think I'm gonna cut her off here. Like I said, we're losing some light. I'm about to pull up to the gym, get a good workout in. And then it's just a short boot home from the gym anyway, so maybe next time we'll do some night riding. Problem with this helmet is I cannot see squat at night with the tinted, the shade. I forget what the hell that helmet is that brightens and darkens, just like the sunglasses. I was looking at maybe getting one of those. Maybe for my birthday this year I'll get a wicked helmet set up. I hope you enjoyed my first Motovlog. Remember guys, keep hustling, and most importantly, be kind. Peace.